Hey everybody, Dawn Kendrick here with some good news. The good news is that you're only going to hear good news here. I am a repurposed news reporter, and I am finally doing the stories that have been burning in my heart for so long. They're stories that uplift, encourage, and inspire, and they are real, and they're raw, and they're vulnerable. They're the good stuff stories, and we see it over and over again that through it all, through the middle of our biggest challenges, together we can, together we will. Let's go see the good and be the good. On your mark, get set, let's go. Good morning. Welcome to the Good Stuff family, where we say the best part of waking up is waking up. And we're grateful. We're grateful even for technology problems. That's why we're coming to you. We have this fantastic introduction, and we've been nailing these. And I looked up, I'm like, it's Travi. It's not even live. For the love of all that's good. I said some good things too, trust me.
Gold, Donnie, gold.
All right, but this is our point. That's the whole point. Whatever the world is going to give us today, get up, put 2 feet on the floor, and find out. That's what we do. That's what we do. We uplift. We try to tell the stories that uplift, encourage, and inspire. So if you're here, welcome to the family. We are glad to have you along. Today, we're going to be talking about some of the things that we say that the younger generations have no clue what we're saying. The things that we really don't need to say anymore, but we still do if you're of a certain age. And we could probably bring in some of those kids to help us with the technology here.
It's a great idea.
Today.
I wonder if any are just happen to be like near their cameras.
I don't know, but if there are any adults watching, if you could pull your kids in, that'd be great, so we could have them on standby. Anyone like 5 years old or older would be fantastic. But we have they were kids when I met them. They're young men now. We have 2 of them and their moms who are going to be joining us in a little bit, who are friends from a story I did back in my reporter days. And we love when we're able to show you the repurposed reporter that I am now, able to reconnect with some of those fantastic, we call it a fantastic cast of characters of people who I met back in the day, who of course are still killing it, and who are what we say uplifting, encouraging, and inspiring us through stories that are real, raw, genuine, authentic, and vulnerable. And it's true. It's not just the rainbows and what do they say, unicorns, rainbows and unicorns. So no, it's real stories of the really God, really moments. And that's what we bring you every Monday, as the kids who we're referring to would say. Every Monday, it drops. The podcast drops every Monday. And on Friday, when we're joining you now, what we do is look back on the week, and we just kind of dish about the things that have happened, good, bad, ugly, inspirational, whatever. And then we hope that you can click into thegoodstufffamily.com to, when they drop at noon Eastern every Monday, those are in-depth personality profiles of people who we love so very much, and who there's no way, I'll promise, that you won't listen and come away inspired. So that's what we're doing in my repurposed reporter life. And sometimes we need reminders. This cup I chose today, look, she believed she could, so she did. See, you can read that perfectly clear. The problem is on this side, it seemed like the dishwasher washed off the did word. So she believed she could, so I think she did. Yes, she did. We're going to go, she did. There it is. It's kind of like in life, right? Just because you can't see clearly from this side, choose another angle. Choose the people who are aligned with what you're doing, and who are adjacent with what you're doing, and then align yourself with them. That's what we're doing as we grow this good stuff family tree. So with that said, on Fridays, we have Travis Ford, who joins us as well. And I was in the process of moving back to St. Louis, so sometimes we're in Cleveland. So yeah, the big entrance.
Should I enter stage
Yeah.
left?
Speaking of technology, camera 3, pan left, and Travi just scoot in. Hey, look, that works out actually. The banners in the middle.
Savvy and techie we are. I'm also managing the show from my own device. See.
Look at that.
You can see us there.
Which explains why you heard the echo in the background.
Yeah,
but,
for a minute you did. Yeah.
Well, look, show them what's on the back of your thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
All the things I love. Missouri Western States, the Good Stuff family, Serenity Now. Comment, please, if you know what that's from, and Dr. Pepper.
I bet even our guests
The
know.
good things, the good things in life.
Our 16-year-old guests probably know what Serenity Now is.
So I don't know. We're gonna Luke and Teagan. We have several things we're gonna quiz you on. Okay, so I hope you've been up for a long time, had a hearty breakfast. I'm sure, right?
No, in fact, I'm starving. Wait, one moment, please.
The teenage.
Pardon my reach. Pardon my reach.
Teenage body clock loves early morning. we were teenagers. We remember.
I do. We were cool too, you guys. Like really, probably as far as you know. Okay.
Well, she was.
So how about this one? One more visual I have. We like to. You remember in broadcast news, always the reporter would. The news director's always like, I'm gonna need an action stand-up out of all of you. Literally would make us go out and reshoot if we didn't say this coaster is to we had to show something. So here I am. You
can't just stand and talk. You have to have a prop.
Right? Yes, right, exactly. And sometimes it's ridiculous. Yeah. The yardstick to show how much snow in Chardon.
And they won't use the word prop because that sounds like showbiz, but it is showbiz. They
don't
want to admit it's showbiz, but it is.
Yeah, it's just me being friendly and conversational with you. Look, I brought my yardstick where I go everywhere, and then let's show 8 inches of snow in Chardon, and they're used to 8 feet. When I first went, they're like, "Why don't you come back when it really snows?" Right?
Right.
But at any rate, that former life, let me just be clear, was and is still a huge blessing, because this is a perfect case in point. These people we're going to introduce you to now, I would not have ever known them had it not been for the blessing of the news stations I worked at. So everything for a reason. And we hope that my own story of my contract not being renewed, I didn't see that coming by a new boss through the door. And I was like, really, God, really? We hope that my own story inspires and encourages you to just keep looking. Maybe it was a gift, actually. I said, would you show me how to turn these walking papers into my permission slip? And so that enabled us. Now we have sponsors who are believing in what we do, and these personality profiles that are so heavily rooted in faith a lot of times. And it's good. It's good. But I just felt like I need to put that disclaimer as we joke. We both come from broadcast news. We went to journalism school together.
And loved it. Both of us.
It was at the University of Missouri. I mean, that was a huge privilege. So with that disclaimer, this is what I set by my coffee pot when I wake up now from my friend Mindy Lee Lou, who it was her housewarming gift. Coffee in hand, big girl panties pulled up, sparkle in my eye, if you can see through the bags.
Always. Sparkle
in my eye and a smile on my face. That part's easy. We can all smile. That's easy. Yep. I'm ready for the day. Bring it on. We say, let's go. Let's go. Let's God. GOOOD. GOO. Let's go. Because people who listen normally know I'm going to say this. Often when we're typing too quickly and one of those O's are omitted, it becomes the God stuff. Can you see that? God, whatever, I'm too far. You were the weatherman. You did weather.
Do what? Oh, the director wants to remind us we have a lot to get to this morning. So, yeah.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, we got it.
Reel it in. We said we were going to have a sound effect that goes like a fishing. Okay. So this was Travis' idea today to tell us.
I have a lot.
Pull up my list.
I have a lot to say on this topic.
Okay.
Okay. So today what we're going to talk about is expressions that don't really mean anything anymore, but we still use them all the time. Okay. And you may have seen the preview to today's show. I think one of them was roll up the window, and one of them was the phone ringing off the hook. These are things we still say, but that don't mean anything literally anymore because of technology. So we're going to get into that, and we thought it would be really fun to have a take from 2 teenage boys on this, on phrases that they've heard, and maybe they didn't know where they came from, or maybe they've never heard them at all, but they still might want to know where they came from, or they might not. So we'll see.
Wait, I was trying to raise up and I sat on my foot wrong. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Well, we catch ourselves saying it all the time. Remember one of our favorite movies, Chevy Chase, Vacation. Now we're going way back. Remember he's in the bad neighborhood and he hears a gunshot and he goes, roll him up. And he goes, does this. Sometimes we still catch ourselves, roll up the window. Who's rolling up the window? Right. Hopefully no one. If you are, no judgment. Maybe it's a vintage car or something. But So we thought we're going to invite two guests to weigh in, but first we have to properly introduce them. And I'd like to show you the story of how we first met them almost 5 years ago. It's crazy. The kids grow up so quickly, don't they?
Okay, we already sound old enough. You don't have to say that.
I talk about them like they're my own kids. All right, so let's take a look at the story. I'm gonna shoot this honestly, you guys. Let me just get serious for a minute. When it comes to if someone says, "Quick, top 5 stories of all time," you remember celebrities you've interviewed. I actually even the Pope was in St. Louis. That was huge. But the truth be told, there's some that really resonate, and it's because they really resonated with viewers. And every once in a while, it's just a common kids. They're just normal kids doing normal things, and then one of them has a chance to rise up, and it turns out both of them are the cutest things ever. You want to take them home with you. I'll let you decide for yourself as we show you now. We're going to introduce you to Luke and Teagan. Here we go. I think they were in 5th grade at the time.
They've been the best of friends since kindergarten, and this week, a 5th grade boy sprung into action to save his choking classmate.
Channel 3's Don Kendrick sat down with the two of them and is here with their story. And what a story it is, Don.
Oh, Sarah, I love these two. They're already making Painesville Township proud with that impromptu Heimlich maneuver they swear was a lifesaver. And it's a good thing, really, because when you meet them, you really can't imagine one without the other. Luke Peterson and Teagan Baus, 11-year-old buddies from way back. How long you been friends?
Since kindergarten.
Well, since 1st grade. We've known each other since kindergarten.
They've been the best of friends since kindergarten, and this week, a 5th grade boy sprung into action to save his choking classmate.
Channel 3's Don Kendrick sat down with the two of them and is here with their story. And what a story it is, Don.
Oh, Sarah, I love these two. They're already making Painesville Township proud with that impromptu Heimlich maneuver they swear was a lifesaver. And it's a good thing, really, because when you meet them, you really can't imagine one without the other. Luke Peterson and Teagan Baus, 11-year-old buddies from way back. How long you been friends?
Since kindergarten.
Well, since 1st grade. We've known each other since kindergarten.
When you've been friends that long, it's kind of like being married. You tend to even help finish each other's sentences.
Best friends.
Yep.
Best friends.
So on Thursday at Buckeye Elementary, Luke and Teagan were sitting together.
So we were sitting in the cafeteria, having fun, talking, eating lunch and whatnot, and then Teagan starts coughing.
But I was like choking. I didn't know the universal sign for choking, so I was just sitting there like.
A wayward salami sandwich was stuck.
So then I knew he was choking, definitely, and his face started turning purple and blue, and then...
Scary.
I thought I was gonna die.
I knew I had to do something,
So he wrapped his arms around me.
and then did the Heimlich maneuver.
Do you know how to spell Heimlich maneuver?
Nope.
Pretend like you're choking.
I've never been taught to do it, or I've never been showed it. I must have seen it somewhere.
It was like Luke Peterson was a superhero that day. Turns out he's got real bona fide moves like a superhero. A 3rd-degree black belt at just 11 years old, and the ATA district champion in combat weapon sparring in Ohio for 2017. You know that, and it's no wonder he saved the day on Thursday.
Lifesaver Luke leapt into action.
Yeah.
2 good, grateful kids
I'm grateful for not being dead.
in a world that sure could use more of them.
Feels good. Feels good that he's alive.
I'm not dead.
Heroes now of the Buckeye Elementary 5th grade.
Like everybody just started yelling, he's choking, he's choking.
Yeah.
Fame and respect Riverside School District-wide today. Maybe the Ellen Show tomorrow.
Are you ready for all that celebrity?
Yes, I am ready.
See, they finish each other's sentences, and they are the greatest together. Painesville Township trustees are so happy to see such great kids. They're going to be the first up to honor them, officially making their heroism and downright adorableness, we say, award-worthy.
Very cute. A wayward salami sandwich. Huh? That's
It
something.
was so descriptive. I mean, I felt like I was there. I was nervous, and I knew the outcome.
We too are so glad they're alive.
Definitely. Thank you,
Thank you, Don.
You know, I have several thoughts on that. First of all, one of my favorite things about Teagan is that he's not dead. Second is that the only thing worse that I can imagine than a salami sandwich is a wayward salami sandwich. Okay.
When I rewatched that, I had to look up what wayward even meant. But
Let's get to the good
all
ones.
right,
Let's
so
get to the good
now,
stuff here.
where are they now? You might be asking yourself. Well, I'm glad you asked.
And remember those cute little voices, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord, they grow up so quickly. All right, everyone, drum roll, please.
Just proof that
Teagan
Teagan
Baus.
is proof that Teagan is still alive.
Ta-da! Teagan Baus and his mama Jill. Hi, guys.
And we're gonna need you to unmute.
Okay,
We
you
can see
unmute.
you. We've proven he's alive. Okay, but do us one
We
better
don't
and,
have you muted on this
and
end.
unmute. Yeah. So let's and
Call
then,
in the 5-year-olds. We're keeping you up. We'll hear you in a second. In the meantime, here comes Luke Peterson. Oh,
Hey.
16 years old almost in a couple
15,
days, right, Luke?
yeah.
16 years old. I can't even believe it. Would you stop growing up already? You're in. Teagan and Jill, you're in. We hear you.
Okay. I got it.
Good morning, Sunshine Squared. And
Good morning.
not last, but certainly not least, the woman who made Luke Peterson. Hello, Christine.
No way.
Good morning.
This is
Hi,
great
Christine.
because we do a
Yeah, I
lot of
wanna
these
change
Where Are
that
They Now stories, and they're always great. But adults pretty much look the same as they did 5 years ago. You guys look nothing and
thanks.
sound nothing like it. So this is especially fun. It's like 2 different people, 4 different people.
Teagan, what were you thinking when you were watching that again?
Teagan, she's asking.
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
What were you thinking when you're watching it?
I did not want to watch that again.
Oh, it's one of my all-time.
It was really embarrassing.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
it's
was,
not at
he was
all.
embarrassed.
Oh,
Well, you're alive. That's
it's
a good
funny
thing.
though.
It's a very good thing.
Okay. And
Luke, what are you thinking?
Well, it was interesting looking back. Since then, I've seen the video a couple times. It's a little, I don't know. I've had a glow up since then, so I'm thankful for that.
I hope I did.
Well, because y'all are kicking some butt, actually, and going on to being the good stuff. But
are y'all still in school together? Where do you go?
no.
No, I go to Gilmore Academy out in like Gates Mills, so like near Mayfield.
Okay.
And you're
I
at
was cool,
Riverside, Teagan, correct?
Yeah, I'm still at Riverside.
All right. So here's what I want to pull up. We're going to ask you guys to help us out with these questions. It was on my, not questions, but Travi
I got
has a
them.
list.
I'm ready. Okay. So guys, this is the audience is mainly our age, like in 50s, but of course we welcome everybody of all ages, but we thought we would, the people watching will be able to relate to these. Okay. But we want to get your take on it too, as I said. So let's start with what I said earlier. Roll up the window. Luke and Teagan, do you still hear people say that?
No.
Like in the car, roll up that window.
I mean, I know where it like comes from, but like I don't know. Besides,
Just
like,
to
my
roll
mom
up a
and dad
window?
maybe occasionally.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys are driving and your friend, and it's annoying because your friend has the window down, what do you say?
Roll
Like-
up the window.
See?
Hey,
See?
guys,
So you
I've
do say-
put up the window, I don't know.
You do say roll up the window. I
Right.
know really what else would you, but you realize where that comes from way back in the olden days when we had to actually roll
Oh,
up the window.
That's the wrong
Yeah.
one.
Close.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
see that crack?
See that crank? That's what that is. That's a crank. And you literally have to crank the window up or down. And now they got these power things that, I mean, it started out power. That was really cool. You could put it up and put it there. Watch this. It was like, you have your friends over. Watch this. Hold this switch and the window goes up, and then hold it.
You had your friends over to show?
Oh yeah. And then it became auto, where you just, double click it, and then it would go all the way down. And then they invented auto up, all the way up. And it was usually just on the driver's side. And then they got it to where,
Seriously?
and then they got it to where all 4 windows in the car had the auto, where you could just push one button and it'd go all the way up or down. That's probably what you guys are used to, correct?
Yeah.
Push
Yeah.
the button once. Okay. So
Luke's gonna be driving himself. Are you driving it, Teagan?
No, I'm still 15.
Okay.
okay.
But Luke's
So-
coming up, so
Actually, I'll be.
Okay, so
I'll be-
Teagan says roll up the window. Luke, what do
Yeah,
you
on
think?
Monday I'm gonna be 16.
Luke, what do you say? If the window's down, what do you think?
I like put up the window. Like I usually don't say roll up the window, but I mean
That
like,
makes sense.
yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. But this is the reason we say roll up the window, okay? Because you really did roll it up. And I don't know, ladies, do you still say roll up the window or roll down?
I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It just it flows. It flows. Okay.
Well, you may not. Did you notice that arm rolling it down was a dinosaur arm? It was a Tyrannosaurus Rex arm. It was hard to reach.
Okay. And then Rich Smith has a funny comment. Okay, that prank is really
Here, I'll
really
put his comment
because
up.
it's plastic. But
Yeah.
if it broke off, then there was like a steel knob inside there that was tiny, and there's no way you get enough leverage to turn it. So he said they had to get vice grip pliers, that you clip and they lock, and they'd have to use that to roll the window down. So that is really funny. Okay. Thank you, Rich. I never had to do that, but I can imagine. Okay, here's another one. Let's talk about phones, okay? Everybody loves phones now. Pick up the phone and then hang up the phone and slam down the phone. So have you guys, if your phone rings and you decide to talk to that person, what do?
What do you mean?
Pick up the phone.
You pick up the phone. Okay, Luke.
Or answer the phone.
Yeah, pick up the phone.
You say pick up? Okay.
Mhm.
And then what about when the call's over? What do you do?
Hang up the phone.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you really? Okay, so
Well,
here's
I
the deal.
thought- I remember.
So
I told you.
look at this. Okay. So
Oh, okay.
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 In
Christina and Jill.
all fairness, that's like 1950s or something.
This is a picture of Dawn growing up.
No.
Okay. And okay,
Oh, her hair's
Christina
fabulous.
and Jill, did anybody have one of those phones in there? Raise your hand
Oh,
if you
yeah.
have a phone in the
Yeah.
kitchen hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
The kind we had.
Okay.
But it was
so when you
it was
pick-
goldenrod in color.
goldenrod. Whoa. Okay.
Nice.
That mustard yellow. Yeah.
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 Okay. Notice she has her best house dress on. Her nails are done. She has
House
jewelry.
dress. House dress. Add that to the list. No, it is a
And
house
then
dress.
she had jewelry and her hair is done, although you can tell she has roots, but that's beside the point. Oh, and she has lipstick on too. So the deal was the phone was on the wall, and then when you pick it up, you literally would lift it off there was like a spring thing. So when you lifted up the phone, the spring would the handle, the cradle they called it, would lift, and that would allow you to place a call. And then when you put it back down, the cradle would come down, and then that would cut off. That would hang up the phone. So you literally hang it up and pick it up, and then the
Hold
phrase.
on. Please don't move on. I have a moment. Can I have a moment to say something quickly?
Who's the host here?
Exactly.
Oh, you
And
are.
you're on the roller chair, so I'm going to
I'm on
roll
the-
you right out.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, first of all, the fact that he's describing all of how that works, you'll tend to do that when you get older, just to remind yourself that you remember things, right? Christina?
Sure.
Am I right?
It's an over explanation. I'll admit it.
Okay. So can you show the picture one more time?
Yep.
My friend Robin wrote a whole column about, part of it, about how her mama, if you were really fancy, you had a cord that was super, super long so you could take it all through the house. That was as remote, as portable as it was. So she would pull it into her room and be chatting with her teenage friends. And the mom would just reel it in like a fishing when it was time to get off the phone.
When it was time for dinner, right?
She would just pull the cord in. Like that was her direct link to her daughter Gavin on the phone. And then my friend Barb, she actually went to Home Depot and asked the guy working there, probably Luke and Teagan's age around, and she said, "Excuse me, I was looking for one of those lawn hoses that kind of coils up to store like a phone cord." And the guy looks at her and goes, "What's a phone cord?" Can you relate, Luke? Teagan, would you have known what a phone cord is?
Of course.
I mean, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
They've seen it on old TV shows.
Right. Well, and they weren't portable back then. They weren't cordless. They were cordful. So the solution to that was you could get like a 30-foot phone cord, and you could snake it from the kitchen down the hall into your bedroom, and then close the door like over the top of the cord, and then talk on the phone privately in your room. And that's how the mom would reel you in when it was time for dinner, right? Okay.
Maybe we need one of those cords for us when we talk too long, like those things that they pull you right off stage.
Right, like the hook.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of the hook, we could do a whole show on phones, but we won't.
Okay.
Okay, slam down the phone. This is something that people our age say you guys will never have the satisfaction of having to do when you're mad at someone. You would slam down the phone back into the hook to hang it up. And right now, wherever you put the phone doesn't affect whether it's on or not. So you'd slam it down, and it had a bell in it. I mean, you've heard an old-fashioned phone ring. You've heard an old-fashioned phone
moms are going,
ring.
yeah.
Yeah, so it would go. It had a physical bell in it, and so when you bang it down, not only would it be satisfying to do that, but you'd hear a little as it would kind of ring out from the hanging up. Okay, and then ringing off the hook. So if you're getting lots of phone calls, what do you guys call that? I'm whatever. My phone is whatever. What do you say?
Like I'm getting scammed, maybe. I don't know.
And Teagan, you said blowing up, right?
Oh yeah,
blowing up.
Yeah, that's the one I thought of. They're blowing up my phone. So ringing off the hook is another. Have you guys ever heard that expression? My phone is ringing off the hook.
I mean, maybe, but like I've never heard someone use it.
Okay, so that's basically what we used to say. Because you hang it up in a hook.
Wait, so can I just? Let me pull them up here. How do we show them full screen if we remove them? Is it removing us? But
no, I think you do your 3 dots on Luke. How about that double layout?
This one?
Yeah.
Group layout.
I
I want to be able to see Teagan and Luke up close and let them have the full
Yeah.
screen because I want to ask them maybe just the 2 of them. Can you remove the rest?
Let's see. What if we do this now? How about we put? No, don't know how to do it.
I want to ask how many times. I was about to say, have you looked at your watch so far today to be like, oh, Lord, we didn't sign up for all of this old people talk, but you probably don't even wear watches anymore, do you?
No.
Right, exactly. There's no need.
Yep.
We can do everything from our phone. You don't need, how about this one? I just thought of another one. Do you know what an encyclopedia is, Luke?
I do.
Oh, what is it?
It's basically like a book of knowledge, like
A-book?
everything that you really want to know.
Hold on. What about, is it just a book?
What do you mean? It's a big book. Like
we used to have bookcases of several encyclopedias, and I think they were alphabetized.
Yeah.
For topics from A to Z. So you might have like 20 books.
Everything you ever could know about the world were in these books. So now you could even Google what a flippin' encyclopedia is.
But imagine, I mean, they go to all that effort to print 20 books. As soon as they're printed, the minute they come off the press, they're outdated because something has changed.
Good
so it's
point.
a terrible way to store information. The internet's way better.
What can we check our comments really quick? And I want to just let Luke and Teagan say anything they want to say now, because as usual, they're probably not getting a word in edgewise. Do you have any thoughts right now that you'd like to say you couldn't get in?
I'm disappointed in Luke for not knowing what this encyclopedia is.
Yeah, there you
said
go.
book knowledge.
High-fiving you from
I
here.
swear, I've used an encyclopedia before.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I love it.
Me
I'm
neither.
disappointed in him for knowing what an encyclopedia is.
Oh, knowing? I thought not knowing. Never mind.
It's like,
Oh, I thought he said knowing. Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well, here's some comments. Mindy Lee said that the rotary phone was horrible trying to dial in to win radio contests. Did you guys do that, Christina, Jill?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And then came along the really cutting edge push button
Right.
phone.
Right.
But you still had to push every button before, like, one touch dialing or, speed dial, whatever. Just
And then you had the
hitting call.
redial, which was awesome.
That's what album I won when I grew up in St. Louis. It was on Magic 108, and I won the Thriller album, Michael Jackson.
Wow.
Yeah,
But I dialed like 500 times. Hang up, hang up,
And then-
hang up. Yep. And I won. And then David
So
Burke.
dudes, look,
Hey.
check this out. You have to put your finger
And
in
like-
the number you want to dial first. So,
And it
like,
would
if you're calling somebody whose number is
So if you had to do it
440,
down 911, it'd take, yeah.
you'd have to do 4, 4, wait for it to spring back, 0, wait for it to spring back. 1 was the easiest because it only had one little short distance to go. It was, yeah.
Okay, could you bring up Teagan and his mom quickly?
Yes.
And you know what? Feel free to raise your hand if you'd like to get a word in edgewise. But I love that Tina is explaining to Teagan how it works because you just. Pardon me? Oh,
I know
Jill.
how it works. What do you?
Yeah, sorry. Oh my God. See, I told you, you forget things. Okay, so Jill is explaining to Teagan how it worked because you brought up a good point. What if you had an emergency back in the day? Because
That's
you
what I
are a
was thinking.
firefighter. Tell
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, the 911 takes a little while.
Yeah, because the 9
Yeah.
is the second to the worst number to have to go all the way around the horn.
Yeah.
And you are a firefighter, Willoughby Hills, correct?
Yeah.
Super cool, Mama. Super cool.
And a nurse at
Oh,
night.
wow.
Here's our friend Kellyanne says, my parents still have a rotary phone.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Seriously. Really?
Yeah, I've
Moved
seen them.
on.
Oh my gosh, in the garage. And if you had a phone in the garage, you were rich, probably. Right?
True.
I had a friend who had one in the bathroom. I was convinced her parents were so rich.
We actually have one too. It's in the basement.
Come on. The
Yeah,
truth comes out.
It's because we still have a landline, and so we have it in case like the cable goes out. We can still plug it in and actually call 911 if we needed to.
Yeah.
So,
Wait,
Well,
I didn't know we had this.
avocado
but,
green,
you know.
it says. in the
Yeah, so they
bathroom.
have one they still have one in the garage and then an avocado green one in the bathroom. And so they had these colors back then. Oh my goodness. Like that phone I showed you. Look, that's like a tomato color, right? It's not really red. It's like tomato. It's like it looks like tomato juice.
Right.
Okay, so anyway, and if you have a phone in the bathroom, I would request that if Christina, if I ever call you, that I would request you never talk to me on that phone.
Oh, ours is in the basement, not the bathroom.
Oh, I thought you were by the toilet. Okay.
No,
Okay.
we're not that fancy around here.
I was gonna say that's okay. Good.
Look at Luke. He's just
Never
shaking
mind.
his head. Poor Luke. Luke's like, God, I gotta go
Looks
back
like-
to school.
Uh-huh.
Like everyone knows we have a stupid rotary phone.
See,
Uh-huh.
who says growing up so boring?
It's a
See?
very utilitarian phone. It's not the French phone. Remember the French phone that everybody wanted? It
I
was
don't know.
What's that?
very
Can you Google
fancy. It sat up high and it had a fancy handle and
I think
Oh,
we
I
had
think I
one of
do
those
remember.
in the kitchen.
yeah.
It had like
Oh.
a crate, like a Victorian
Yes.
one or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like the old
Overly
one, like the
fancy.
bells.
Okay. So let's move right along. Here's another one.
Wait, Luke, are you sleeping? It looks like Luke's
No.
teasing.
He's, no.
I know.
He's-
Which is a good
okay.
valuable sleep time.
If you're recording someone, have you heard people say videotaping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So taping, whether it's videotaping or cassette taping, we have a picture of a cassette tape as well, and I think I can pick that. I can
Oh my gosh.
pull that up.
Yeah, the
So
mixtape.
all right, so that's a cassette tape, okay? And then you guys have probably heard of a mixtape, and that's because literally, you didn't just check a song to add it to a playlist. You would take a blank cassette, and then you had a cassette, like a double. You may have seen these, but a dual cassette player. So you take your source over on the left, and you cue it up by cue it up, I mean like rewind until the song starts, and then you have the blank over here, and then you press record on the blank and press play on the original. And then you literally have to sit and wait for the song to record. And then you'd stop, pause, take out that tape, put in a different tape, cue up the song. So that's how people made a mixtape. It was really
you
hard
could
work.
record it right off the radio station.
Right.
And if you had a girlfriend or a boyfriend, then they would record all the oh, now we're gonna go way back. Like, what's the first song you think of? Like I think of like Lionel Richie songs, right, Christina? Joe?
Air Supply.
Air Supply. Travis, give us a quick sample of an Air Supply
I'm
song.
all out of love.
So lost without you.
Uh-huh.
Believing
But it's
was-
real high. I'm all out of love.
Right.
So lost.
Have you heard that song ever, you guys? Teagan?
They're really cheesy. They're actually very, I mean, like if you want to hear like really good, like passionate love songs, they're really good, but they're very cheesy. Very cheesy.
Did you wish you never heard that song, including what just happened?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the honesty. No, we say we're real, raw, genuine, and authentic. And I'm glad you were honest. That was authentic answer. Okay.
Okay, come on, man.
Moving along.
They
The
both
singing
got
was
it.
pretty
Okay.
good, but like the song itself, not so much. But
Oh, how nice is this? See, he's a nice kid, even if he's keeping it real.
He's a politician. Are you running for student council?
no, we don't have elections at our school, so.
Oh, okay.
He is president of the debate team, though, so if you should feel like you want to debate the validity of those songs.
Very diplomatic. Very diplomatic. Okay. How about broken record? You guys heard that? He's like a broken, like my mom is like a broken record. She always tells me to clean up my room, brush my teeth, change my underwear, right? Okay, and so that was because when you guys know what a record is because they're back in style.
Hey, let him answer real quickly.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'll be right back. Give me a second.
No.
Oh, he's gonna. I bet he's
gonna get a record. Are you gonna get a record?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well,
He's gonna get another call.
Everybody knows what records are now because they're back in vinyls. You know, you can get big ones or little ones, whatever. But when it would get a crack in it or whatever, it would play, and then the crack would cause it to just like keep looping on that one section. So it would the record would just keep repeating itself, like I'm all out of luck, I'm all out of luck, I'm all out of luck, I'm all out. Right. So then you'd have to literally pick up the needle and move it. And so that's why when somebody repeats themselves all the time, we say they're like a broken record. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
In fact, they're thinking you sound like one right now, probably.
I do tend to repeat things for emphasis because all of my points are very important.
Who weren't you weighing in on it, Jill? What were you weighing in up there?
Yeah, like when you put the penny on it to keep it
down.
down.
To hold that's right. I forgot to hold the arm down so it would be heavier to go over the skin.
Okay.
Right.
I remember that.
We got some. Let's see. We got some good ones here. But we're seriously. We could do a whole show on phones. We need to put that in our list. Okay.
Oh yeah, Rich Smith is our IT expert guy.
IT, and he's a DJ. He DJs parties.
Right. Congratulations, by the way. You just got a fantastic job that is he's so worthy of, and we're so lucky to have. Here we go. Here's what he said. It's a playlist today, right, guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Give me an example of what song, if you don't have air supply, like what would you have on your playlist right now?
Like a love song or what kind of song?
Any song, your favorite song.
Keep it clean.
I don't know.
Probably a song. Eruption, Van Halen.
Whoa, really? Okay.
You know that one?
Oh yeah, Van Halen from the 70s.
Really? Teagan.
Eddie Van Halen guitar solo.
Like that.
Eddie Van Halen is an all guitar solo.
Well, that song is an all guitar.
Yeah,
solo.
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, cool.
No words. It's all guitar only, no drums. I don't think there's anything besides just lead guitar, right, Teagan?
Yeah, it's just guitar.
Yeah, that's it. No
Do you
drums, no
play
bass.
an instrument, Teagan?
No, I want to play guitar, but
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
All right. I love that you went way back to the 70s. What do you think about the 70s in general?
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Good music. I mean, made good music.
Right.
Yeah.
I think so too.
And then let's see. Okay. And so on the flip side, you've heard people say, "I'll catch you on the flip side," and that's a record reference as well, because records had A side, B side, and so literally on the flip side, there were second, like 6 songs on side A and 6 songs on side B. Same with cassettes; you flip them over as well. But I think when we say on the flip side, we're talking about records for the most part. Okay, how about a clean slate? Have you heard that? Have you heard that phrase? Start with a clean slate. Do you know what that means? Where
Like
that came
start
from?
new, start fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know where it came from? Why we say slate?
I don't.
Okay.
Because Fred Flintstone used to write on a slate.
Okay.
tablet.
See, you're gonna have to explain
Who's
who
Fred Flintstone?
Yeah. Okay. Before we had the smart board. Do you guys have a smart board in your classrooms?
We have like projectors, but yeah.
Okay, so we had smart boards, which is a computerized board you can write on with a marker that it was like a stylus, I guess.
We had that?
Well, now they have
Right.
it. And then before that was the dry erase board, which is still very common. And then before that was the chalkboard. And so, oops, hold on, that's the wrong picture. Okay, so that is chalkboards were made of slate. And I'm sure you guys have seen chalkboards. You may not use them in your classes, but they're trendy now in like coffee shops and bagel places. Like when you go look at the menu, a lot of times it'll be written on a chalkboard.
But that's all we had, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
If you couldn't learn it off the chalkboard before it got erased, you were up a creek.
Right. So you literally, if you say, all right, that class is over, let's do a new class for the new round of students coming in, you take that eraser, wipe it all down, maybe even use water, and then you'd have a clean slate. So that's where that expression came from, starting with a clean slate.
Kelly Nelson's taking a quick break at work where she's teaching, I think. They don't use it anymore. They have projectors. There you go, Luke. Yep, that's what he said.
Okay. How about that? We actually have a projector at my office that it projects onto just a blank wall. And then there's a little thing like a stylus, and you write on the wall, and the projector shows what you're writing.
That's cool.
And then you just hit the little erase button when you're done, and it all disappears. So you're not actually writing on the wall. You're just, anyway, this may be
Which
old.
is another phrase, the writing on the wall.
The writing on the wall, true. And then my last one is stay tuned. So have you guys heard, like if someone says, I'll talk to you more about that later, stay tuned. That has to do with,
I mean, usually you don't use it in like a conversation, but like
I love you, Teagan. What about, do you wish you could say, stay tuned, we'll be right back, so you can skip away right now and get out? Stay tuned. Yeah.
No, but we'll say, okay, I sent an email to so-and-so and, stay tuned. We'll see how they respond. Some people use that in conversation, but it was from radio stations. You would tune the radio like you're on, a frequency of 96.7, and then you'd turn the knob to go up to 99.5 or whatever, or maybe you even had a button that would just take you right there. It's super
So
advanced.
they said, don't do that. Stay tuned into us.
Yeah, stay tuned. We're going to have a commercial break, but stay tuned. We'll be right back with Air Supply or
I'm all out of love.
the contest winners. Yeah. So that's what stay tuned. That's where that came from. So anyway, these are fun. And I have been requesting to do this show since July. So that's how backed up we are here on the good stuff. Best part of waking up.
So what questions do you have, Teagan?
Do you guys have any
Luke?
old weird phrases you wonder about?
I mean, not really. I have a pretty 80s obsessed mom, so like she fills me in. But,
Cool.
Thanks.
Teagan, I bet you have some stuff to say.
Well, I think I was raised and I grew up around hippies. So.
Nice.
Okay, we gotta zoom in on Mom and Teagan for this one. Let's get to know.
Oh no.
Let's get to know the hippie mom a little better.
I love it.
Hippie firefighter mom.
And she's cool though, right? That's a cool mom. How many mamas are firefighters?
Of course you're cool.
So cool. I want to take this comment off. How do we? All right.
That
So yeah. Any questions? This is your chance, Teagan. Seriously, anything goes.
About what? I'm trying to think.
About what happened in the olden days. Way back
I think
in
I
the
already
olden
know
days.
what happened in the olden days.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I do.
What do you want him to know, Jill, about how good the olden days were?
well, that when we had cars and stuff, we had to buy them ourselves. I don't do that anymore.
It's not my fault the economy sucks.
Oh, look at the cat in the back row too.
Oh,
That's awesome. All right, so that's true. This is true. Yeah, we had to. Where did you work? Where was your first job, Jill?
Oh, I was a babysitter. Then I had a paper route and McDonald's. I made my ways around the
Same. I didn't have a paper route.
Yeah.
I'll be darned. Yeah, babysat. What was your first job, Luke?
my just like yard work. Like I technically haven't had like a real official job yet, but like picking up, I don't know, doing yard work around other people's houses, getting paid for it. Probably a little bit too much, but
That's cool. That's good. That's good honest work.
Yeah.
So
Teagan, if your mom gives you a hard time about that again, you can say, it's not my fault I have generous parents. Don't blame me. I just accepted it.
You just bought a car.
Yeah.
For your daughter. All right.
My parents argued over my first car when I turned 16. My mom was like, I really think he should have to earn some of that. I mean, wouldn't it be? I could overhear them. And the next thing I know, my dad's like on the phone with somebody. Okay, we'll buy it. So we go over there. He peels off the money, gives him cash, drives it home. My mom's like, what about him working for some of that? He's like, nah.
For mine, my grandpa had a Pinto. Do you know what a Ford Pinto is, you guys? Teagan, Luke, can you Google that quickly?
Yeah.
And it had, look at us, Google it. Go get the encyclopedia and see. It had paneling, you guys, like on Vacation with Chevy Chase. Have you seen that movie from way back in the day? Vacation.
Yeah, I think we had a Vista Cruiser.
A Vista Cruiser. Okay.
Is that a Pinto? Is that a kind of Pinto?
Oh no, it's a station wagon.
Oh,
it's a full-blown state. Well, my Pinto was like a rust brown.
Was it? Did it look
It
like any
had
of these?
very similar, but imagine it with brown paneling. This would be close to the color that one.
Oh, there we go. Good.
And they were also deemed to be fire hazards. They found because they're so small. If you hit them in the back, they would erupt into flame. But my grandpa had one, and he kept it like under this tree. So when I went for my, here it comes.
We're getting there. We're getting
there. So you have an idea. It had all these leaves, like these dried leaves that had fallen in the vent. And when I had to go take the driver's test, the guy looked like Bull from Night Court, which you may not know who he is, but I heard they're bringing them back. They're bringing those back.
Night Court, yeah, dated reference again.
I know, but my point is everything old is no good. Yep, there it is. So
what brown does that remind you of? I mean, seriously, why would someone choose that color for a car?
Well, it had paneling too, mine. So it was probably the upper echelon of Pintos.
That thing, as it said in the Blues Brothers, that thing is an S box.
Okay, let me see, Luke and Teagan. What do you think about that car for your first car?
Not a fan.
Teagan?
It's a car, I guess.
There you go. I like that.
I can drive it.
Gratitude.
I'm not gonna be happy, but I can drive it.
Vintage. We could call it vintage. So here's what happens.
I bet you have to roll up the windows.
You pull up Bull from that.
You?
I did have to roll up the windows. I did.
Yeah.
And they were so old. They're like, ee. So I go to take the test, and Bull from Night Court asked me to demonstrate where the defrost is. So I did. And all these pieces of leaves blew out in our face, and he was already crabby. Well, this is a happy. Here's Bull. This is what my guy looked like, who gave me the driver's test, as if you're not nervous enough as it is. Producer Travi working on that right now.
Oh, yeah.
In the Ford
Stall.
Pinto.
Talk about the weather.
No, but what I was going to say is I ended up acing actually my test 100% on parallel parking because my mom taught me. There it is, Bull. Imagine he's real tall and he's my driver test guy, but he wasn't smiling. He was not. Yeah, I'm sure he wasn't in love with his guy.
Why did he look like that?
So, here's what happened though. It was like the God smiled on me. The kid up the street, he was like 14, and he took his parents' car for a joyride and crashed into that Pinto that was parked in the street out in front of mine. Well, of course it was totaled. So now the insurance company says, go find, a couple months. Guess what I had, you guys ready? A Trans Am with T-tops.
No way.
Way. And it was white and it was cool. You know what that is? Trans Am.
All right. Did it have an eagle on the front hood?
I don't know.
No, not the whole hood. It didn't. But it was fast, and then you have to give it back. And I was like, wah, wah. So ready? Here, I'm gonna wrap this up. But guess what the next car was? My parents had a friend whose brother had passed away, unfortunately, but he hadn't used the car much. It was one that had low miles and sat in the garage. So it was a very practical car. And I was begging them, please, no. It was a Dodge Aries. You ever seen those Dodge cars?
Oh my
Dodge Aries, look at Jill. That is not a cool car. And I said, oh my God, it's a dead man's car. My mom said. She said, oh, for God's sake, you didn't die in the car. You're ungrateful. You ungrateful.
Can you imagine, Dawn, when I met you in college?
I had it.
At the zoo. She had a Dodge Aries. So here she is, the cool, hot blonde chick in the Dodge Aries. It was so great.
Well, we also champion humility on this broadcast.
Yes.
So there you go.
And we're going to leave you, speaking of nostalgia, we can't resist.
Right now, both the guys are going, thank God. It sounds like the end.
That is in 1992.
32 years ago at the University of Missouri.
That's 30. Well, 31, coming up on 31.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Because when you graduated.
Yeah,
so
92.
in May.
That was May of 92. So coming up on.
Crazy?
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Aw.
There we are. There we are.
So cute.
That's good. You're doing a great job producing. Okay. So I would love for
Producing at a high level today.
Yes. Once we figured out we weren't recording.
Right.
All right, Teagan, we're wrapping it up. Any final thoughts from Teagan and Jill?
I don't think much. What do you?
It was so nice to see that video again. That was so cute.
It was nice.
Oh my God, I got all weepy.
Oh, no. Well,
and guys, next time we have you on, we'll do it at midnight, so your bodies will be more in tune with your body clock. This age, okay? We've been there.
Luke, what's your takeaway?
I don't know that much about 80s cars or 70s cars. I don't know what kind of time range we're talking about here, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think it would be cool to find one and see how you guys do drive it just for a week. Let's just see, like, if you're cool with your friends.
I bet it's going to smell terrible.
Have you seen Napoleon Dynamite?
Give me a cool one.
Think so.
No, the movie Napoleon Dynamite. Have you all seen that movie?
No, I don't think so.
I want to, but I haven't.
Isn't that a rated R movie? They're only 15.
Oh, is it R? It can't be R. It can't be R, Mama.
No way, Christina. Yep.
Speaking of which, the R movies were not even close to there were G now.
Right. We should put them in a gremlin. Remember a gremlin?
Oh,
yeah,
I hated gremlins.
Oh my gosh, you just said gremlin.
No, not
Jan.
Not the movie, Teagan. The car.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I admit I'm wrong.
What'd you say, Teagan?
I thought you were talking about the movie Gremlins.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah.
That tells you the age gap right there.
Very, very unglamorous car, the Gremlin.
Yeah.
The Pinto, the Gremlin, the Aries. No offense to those car companies. Let's see. Beige.
Someone had a Pinto. Kellyanne had a Pinto.
Kellyanne had a Pinto and a beige police Zephyr. I don't even know what that is.
Police. Let's show it. A police Zephyr,
yeah,
like an old police car.
I guess so. They took the sirens off it and everything. Camaro. Yeah, these are funny. Yeah, so we could go forever. So my closing thought for today, and I'll turn it over back to the host. But anybody who says, guys, those were the good old days, don't believe them. Everybody thinks when they grew up it was the good old days. You'll think that too. Don't believe them. They were just as bad or just as good.
Yeah. And my final thought is, you know what? Good old days. Today is the best day. And that's the truth. Not to get too sappy, guys. Today is a fantastic day to go out and kick some butt. We say take the next best step. And every morning I pray, all right, God, grant me discernment, open the doors that need to be open, close tightly the doors that need to be closed. And thank you for the blessings already on their way. That's our prayer. And we are so thankful for you guys. Blessings, your absolute blessings. And now that I've tracked you down, I plan to keep in touch. And I love you so much. And we appreciate your time. And if you guys are listening to this and you enjoyed it, don't forget on Mondays is when the personality profiles of people who are going against bigger things than we could have ever imagined, and they're still finding a way to rise up and overcome, basically. And so they inspire us. So that's Monday, that drops. And if you would, could you share? It's super important, you guys, especially Teagan and Luke. I'm being serious here now. Would you be willing? They're like, heck no, I'm going to try and forget this. But we want to share as much as we can as we grow this good stuff family tree 2023. That's how we do it. And we'd be so grateful if you guys would join the Good Stuff family. And that happens by thegoodstufffamily.com is where all the links are that you would need to share, and including this one. We want to share it far and wide so everyone knows how awesome Luke and Teagan are. I can just feel their eyes rolling for the love. All right, guys, thank you. I love you and God bless. Have a great day.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
This This has been a Grassroots Good Stuff family production. Big love and gratitude to our friend Carlos Jones, who is the talented voice and creator behind this music that sets the tone for these good stuff stories. Huge gratitude and love as well for our social media director. She is Danielle Folk and is consistently going above and beyond. Follow her at Farmhouse Storyteller. And to the producer, My Travi, the glue that holds together the moving parts of this God-inspired endeavor. TheGoodStuffFamily.com is where you'll find links for all the things we're doing, including how to be a sponsor of a story. So grateful for our faithful sponsors who have already made so much of what we do possible. And of course, big love and gratitude for you, the listeners, helping to grow this Good Stuff family tree 2023. Welcome to the family.